conspiracy? That's all these people can say. Well, get this straight. The only conspiracy is that John didn't go inside the house. And you should never trust a man with a felon gut.
The system has let us down at every turn. And yesterday was the final letdown.
You can just tell when someone has memorized a script.
And that's why we're here, because there's nobody left to stand up for us.
Think real long and hard before you're a witness in a case, because no one protects you. And it's very, very sad.
Cry me a river, you lying piece of shit.
For the first time, some of the key players in the Karen Reed trial sitting down for an exclusive interview. His friend, Jennifer McCabe,
Not friend.
and her husband,
She
Matt,
didn't go to his
former
funeral.
Boston police sergeant Brian Albert, and his wife, Nicole, and his brother, Chris Albert.
Chris Albert? The dude that was actually driving drunk and murdered a man? The dude that told Aiden Carney that he would mop the floor with his body?
All five of them pulled into the center of this high-profile case.
For a reason.
And now speaking out.
And I think the reason we all stayed quiet is because we were just witnesses. This is a thing that we had nothing to do with.
We did the civic duty, came and told the truth, and that's it.
Says the guy who made some mysterious calls at 2:30 in the morning on the night John O'Keefe was murdered and blamed it on a butt dial. But the thing is, the person he was calling called him right back. And the phone's connected, and they blamed that on a butt dial. Oh, and the judge also tipped them off 2 days before an order was to come down, which would have made them hand over all of their electronics. So guess what they did? They destroyed all of the evidence. They got rid of their phones. One of them even destroying it at a military base. You're trying to tell us you're telling the truth. You only need to do that if you're hiding something.
This is a guy that was murdered, and it's atrocious for that family.
I have a feeling those words are going to come back to bite you. Because ain't that the truth? The real murderers who murdered John O'Keefe need to pay the piper. And if you want to gain media attention to discredit the jurors, that honks me off. They sat through 2 months of lies brought before them by the CW. Anyone who disrespects this jury's decision is scum. They were attentive throughout the entire process, and the CW did not bring any evidence forward.
While the prosecutors blamed Reed for O'Keefe's death, the defense said this group of family members framed Reed to cover up what really happened that night. Ever since, their lives becoming open season for endless conspiracy theories.
What they've done is they've dehumanized us to the sense where we're not real people. We're almost like caricatures. We're pawns.
Have each of you been called murderers? Like actual murderers?
Oh, yeah, on a daily basis.
Anybody who's touched this case has been called a murderer at some point.
Says the guy who instructed everyone to tell reporters, tell them the guy never went inside. And you never thought that text message would be recovered. There's no need to say that if that's actually what happened. Why are you laughing? Because it's true? This dude's an absolute goofball.
And anyone who's friends with us support cop killers.
Oh, Jen, pipe down.
I'm just sad for John's family.
Nicole, you dirty liar. None of you went to his funeral. So stop trying to hype up the crowd. God doesn't like liars.
And what happened yesterday, and I feel like they didn't get justice for him.
Well, let's go get justice for John O'Keefe. Because Karen didn't murder him, so let's go find out who did. Let's do it for Nicole.
Our lives just changed forever.
Why speak out now after the verdict?
We took what we thought was the high road. Right. Let the court do its job.
Well, the court didn't do its job in this trial, but the jury sure did. I find it funny that the CW had everything going for them. Well, they didn't have any evidence, any truthful evidence, that is, but they had the judge on their side, and they still couldn't secure a guilty verdict because jurors are smart, and jurors do not like being lied to. John was watching down over these proceedings, and there's a reason why she was found not guilty.
Did John ever come in the house?
Never, no.
You never saw John O'Keefe in the house, right?
Never.
Never.
You cannot trust a word they say. Don't trust someone that destroys evidence. I'm a human lie detector. Look at those faces.
You do realize for this conspiracy to be true?
No. You realize the jury has spoken, and the only conspiracy is that John never went inside the house.
Great question. I don't understand how people bought this.
Let me break it down for you. It's because the truth, the science behind the truth, and the lack of evidence doesn't lie.
Says he and Nicole only found out about John's death when Jen McCabe, who is Nicole's sister, barged into their bedroom.
She was just upset and...
Why did he have to speak over you right there?
She said, John's out front. I think John's dead out front. I said, what the are you talking about, Jen? And I'm like, I didn't know.
You still didn't piece it
I
together.
didn't understand what she was talking about because why would John be out front of my house?
Dude, I wonder why don't you go take a look? You are a first responder after all.
I'm not a Canton police officer. I'm a Boston police officer. I was just woken up out of a cold sleep from hanging out the night before. By the time I came downstairs, the police were already in my house. John was already gone. There was nobody to save.
Dirty liar. The police never went into your home. And John was still alive at that point. Look at their eyes. You can tell everything you need to know about someone by looking at their eyes.
I would have taken a bullet for John O'Keefe because he was a fellow cop. That's the most ridiculous question that people always ask. It makes zero sense. What am I supposed to do? Run out front in my underwear and start running yellow tape around the fire hydrant?
Yeah. Aren't you a sergeant detective? Well, you were at that point. You quickly retired after this. I mean, it's not a bad idea, bro. You also sold your house and pawned off your dog. Oh, and you refloored your basement before you sold your house. Not suspicious at all. Coupled with the fact that you destroyed evidence. Your entire group did.
Overall, a lot of the evidence had caused reasonable doubt, and that was enough for us not to convict.
Respect the jury.
What raised eyebrows at Reed's trial was a defense theory about a Google search Jen had made about how long it takes to die in the cold. The defense claiming she searched it before O'Keefe's body was found.
Let's report correctly here. It's not a claim. That was proven in a court of law. Jen McCabe did search that at 2:27 a.m. before Karen even knew he was missing. Now, how the hell would she know? And when Karen called Jen at 5 in the morning, Jen made sure to call her sis Nicole. And that call and that search were deleted. These people never expected for their deleted calls and search history to be recovered. That wasn't part of the plan.
So much has been made about that Google search that morning. Was it at 6 a.m. or was it at 6:27 a.m.? How long?
What? Hey, bozo. 6 a.m. or 6:27 a.m. are not the times in question. It's 2:27 a.m. Get a different job. In this case, it is super important to listen to the actual testimony. Don't just go off of the government's filing, because the government in this case is corrupt AF. I've had it with mainstream media.
She asked me to do it at outside of Fairview at 6:20, whatever it was. Doesn't matter how much I say about it, people will not believe it.
The group also hoping to clear up rumors regarding the Alberts dog, Chloe, who had been rehomed after the incident.
Yeah.
Those wounds were inflicted as the result of a dog attack. Those marks are from teeth.
They've known for 2 years where Chloe is. The state shared it with them.
That's not true.
They say they're still faced with threats against them and their families, but hope to continue calling this community their home.
No one threatens them. They are narcissistic bullies who have always had power in their community. Aiden County stood up for the truth in this matter. They did? They doubled down and threw him in jail for 60 days. It's a town of corruption, which is why this was allowed. They masterminded a plan in order to get him in jail. I think they've masterminded a couple other plans. And so far, their plans have worked in their favor. And that, my friends, needs to stop.
Community, their home.
You get down, you get depressed, and it's like, but this is the town we grew up in. We didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, spare me. You know what? Go ahead and look up these two videos. See for yourself how this group acts, how they conduct themselves. Come to your own conclusions. Do not take their word for anything.
Contributed to our town. We love our town. Why should we have to go anywhere?
This should be about John, not you. Chris hated John. They were neighbors, and John was investigating some things in that town right before he was brutally murdered, left to die on a cop's front lawn.
Hold up.